Good morning. So nice to see you on a beautiful October Monday. And lucky for us, we're celebrating October and Oddtober still this morning. Thom Benson's back on the show with us from the Tennessee Aquarium. He was here just a few days ago.
Yeah.
And you hadn't left the building, and I sent you an email and I said, hey, Thom, y'all are so famous. You know the underwater pumpkin carvings that they do? Let's do one, but not underwater here. So you brought Mark Craven.
Yep.
You are the director of the diving program there, right?
Manager of dive operations.
Manager of dive operations, as well as a safety diver.
Dive safety officer.
I'm glad you know what you are.
It's a mouthful.
Today you're a pumpkin carver.
Right.
So y'all make it look so easy. We've all seen the video. Perhaps you've gone in person when you're there with your scuba gear carving those pumpkins. Is the trickiest part how slippery they get?
It can be. There's a couple of things that we don't think about when we're carving pumpkins in the kitchen at home. They are buoyant, so we have to weight them properly to keep them from floating away. Of course, the water makes them a bit slick to hold on to with the sliminess of the pumpkin. And then one of the other challenges is the fish are super interested in what we're doing. So they're all gathered around us and they can get between us and the pumpkin and make visibility a little bit of a challenge, but it's a lot of fun and our guests clearly enjoy watching us do it.
So you are a big fan of pre-planning.
Absolutely.
Right? So when y'all go in there, you've actually kind of pre-carved the pumpkins
Right.
a little.
It's something that is instilled in the mind of a diver anyway. So adding a piece of equipment like a pumpkin and a carving knife and pre-planning for that is super important. We do stencil the designs on the pumpkin and even carve out some of it to begin with before we get underwater.
So you're going to let us have some of that fun without the water part today.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So I like you more than ever before because you took out the slimy gunk inside.
We did everything that we're going to do when we have the volunteer scuba divers carving, which our guests can see every Saturday at 2 p.m. throughout October. So again, yeah, you scoop out the middle, you pre-punch the, sort of give you the cut on the dotted lines,
okay.
and now you can go. But this difference is you don't have to worry about the pumpkin floating away from
right.
you because we're doing it out of water.
Okay, so let's get started.
Yeah.
So you've cut everything, you've taken everything out, and y'all have your stencils there.
Yep.
Yes.
So just use the knife and follow the dotted line.
You can.
So I have
it
a
just
shark.
punches straight in, and the knife moves quite readily through the pumpkin flesh.
Something I was not prepared for. I've become a new kind of adult, and I have to wear my reading glasses every time I do something close up.
That's one of the challenges we have underwater as well, because you can't wear your glasses when you have a dive mask on. So those of us that don't have contact lenses, it can be a bit of a challenge as well.
So here's something, I'm sorry, Thom, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, talk about becoming a different pumpkin carver. As you go through life, you carve a pumpkin as a child, you carve a pumpkin as a parent, and, I'm in that phase now where I'm carving with grandchildren.
Right.
And so it's really a lot of fun. And we're going to make it a little bit easier, too, for families. A lot of pumpkin carving kits come with the templates, and we have these on our website of your favorite aquarium animals.
So
Mark,
you can do this if you want to at home.
Absolutely. You can print these out at home, and Mark is actually carving the butterfly fish. You're carving the shark.
I think.
And we can get as fancy as if you like a macaroni penguin or a gentoo penguin. We have that one in there.
Really?
We also have our favorite ringtail lemur for those advanced pumpkin carvers. And if you're a butterfly fan, we can do butterflies. And we also have a tortoise, which is pretty cool. And we had Mike Shaliva, our graphic designer, come up with all of these fantastic templates, and that's an American alligator.
Okay, so I have to ask a couple of questions. So one thing that's helpful for me, since I really can't see very well, is I can feel my way through this.
There you go. Yeah.
Because y'all have perforated this to start with, so how did you do that?
Just like the tool kits that you get
I've
in
never
any
used
store.
one. Okay.
They have a little punch, and you just put the template on the pumpkin and tape it, and you just start poking the holes around the edges of the cutouts, and then you can use your saw to
This is an
carve
epic
it out.
fail. Well,
I don't know about that. I think you're doing pretty good.
That's very helpful because what's happened to me is the mark is sometimes kind of faint to see.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But if I reach the end of it, I can't go any farther.
Right.
Or
because
if
the
you
holes
use one
aren't
of those
there.
markers and your hand gets wet and you lose the line,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
nice to have it pre-punched there.
So these
Cut on
little,
the dotted line.
Yeah, like kindergarten. You never really leave kindergarten.
Right.
So These little knives that we're using, they're also very helpful. Is that something that just comes with a pumpkin carving kit?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, this is handy.
And so, we've got the opportunity for our guests to see the scuba divers carving pumpkins Saturdays at 2 p.m.
If you're already done, that's fine.
And then coming up on the 27th of October is our Aquascarium Halloween party.
Okay.
And that's trick-or-treat stations within the buildings and games and activities outside the buildings. And then we have Mark's team of volunteer divers that will be wearing costumes in all the exhibits. So, Mark, I think you got an A+ there.
In case you're wondering and you're thinking,
right up to it, and there you go.
if you're thinking, geez, Julie, are you that person who opens her presents slowly on Christmas morning? I'm really not. I'm just so afraid I'm going to mess this thing up.
Yeah, and these pumpkins look great when the candle or the light's inside.
Yeah, let me see yours.
So there you go. Yeah.
What is that?
It's a butterfly fish.
Oh, I see it now. It's like a Rorschach test.
It is kind of.
Okay, I'm carving a shark. So I'll tell you my little shark story whenever I think of the Tennessee Aquarium. My husband is from Rhode Island, and his sister and her husband came down to visit years ago, and my daughter Emily was little. She was like 3. Maybe she was older than that. Maybe she was about 6. Anyway, Marilyn and Dave, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, went to the aquarium. And they're from Rhode Island. Just let me say that for you 3 times. They are from Rhode Island. So they came back and were telling my daughter about the visit to the aquarium. And I didn't hear it. And Emily comes running in the house and she says, Mom, we have to go back to the aquarium. And I said, why? And she said, because Aunt Marilyn saw a shark. And I said, what? And she said, she saw a shark, and I've never seen a shark. And it was, of course, a shark in a Rhode Island accent. So I'm carving a shark.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it for me. I'm done.
Almost done.
I think you're pretty much there.
I'm done. I just have to.
Just a couple little areas there that you still have to cut out.
Oh, the
2
eye. I
spots
almost
here.
left off the best
So,
part.
again, think about trying to do this underwater, and it really is fun to see them, but especially, knowing how to carve a pumpkin.
Oh, you're like the man who, when you almost have the lid off the
Yeah,
mayonnaise
there you
jar,
go.
you're just the one who comes in and does it. That was almost done. This is fun, though. So when you mentioned that the scuba divers are volunteers, if people have their scuba diving certification, they can volunteer to do this?
Yes, we've got about 160 individuals that volunteer with us now as scuba divers, and
See, Julie, you did a great job.
Oh, no, I didn't, because I almost cut out all this over here, I think.
you're
No,
good.
did I do that?
Yeah, you did it.
Did
right.
I really do that?
Yeah.
Well, that
You're
is very cool. So you can get that off of the website.
Yep.
I think my shark is easy.
All these
to figure
templates
out
are
than the
available to
butterfly
download for
fish.
free.
Okay, so you were telling me, though, what about the...
We have an annual recruitment, which will be coming up toward the end of the year. Everything will go on our website, all the requirements for being part of our dive program. There's a bit of an evaluation the first part of the year and then some training. But our volunteers come in teams of 4 on a 4-week rotation. So
Okay.
we dive 363 days a year because we're closed on Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're in the water every day, and we'd love to have some folks come out and
Yeah.
try it out with us.
Well, you can start by making a pumpkin and let your kids have fun. Get the template off of their website. Go enjoy Oddtober all month long, except October 22nd. They're closed for an event. Try to go trick-or-treating there if you want to. Have fun. And now you know the tricks of how they carve these pumpkins underwater. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shots.
Julia, what are you doing? We have a commercial to film.
I'm taking a break.
Breaks are what we're telling people about. Budget breaks.
Visit budgetbreaks.com for locations and coupons. Budget Breaks. Breaks starting at just $100.
As life moves forward, we realize that excitement isn't just for the young, and that it's never too late to learn a new trick or two, and that it's okay if life gets a little easier. We understand life may look a little different,